War Corpse here, and this is a request from a friend of mine to go on a rant about Todd Aiken. Now, if you have been living under a rock and don't know what he said, he basically said that, well, unless the rape was forcible, a woman should not be allowed an abortion. And if the rape was forcible, pregnancy is very rare because a woman has hormones that will prevent pregnancy. Well, hormones can misfire, so I guess every single fucking childless couple in America that has been trying desperately and has been going to fertility clinic after fertility clinic and wearing shit on their genitals and shoving shit up their genitals and fucking eating a special diet and doing special exercises all to increase the chances of pregnancy. You know what? Guys, I guess once again, it's not you, it's her. It's her hormones misfiring. Why she's not getting fucking pregnant. And could any doctor anywhere give me a little bit of a list of which hormones fire that prevent pregnancy? I got news for every son of a bitch out there. You won't find the fucking list because it doesn't fucking exist. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get back here so I don't blow everyone's fucking eardrums out. Listen, it's in the fucking GOP platform, for Christ's fucking sakes. They don't believe that a woman should get an abortion under any fucking circumstances. They don't give a shit what it is. They think every life is fucking special. I got news for you. How loved is a kid gonna be if he's the product of a forcible rape? How loved is he gonna be, and how healthy is he gonna be if he's the product of a union between a father and a daughter, or a mother and a son, or brother and sister? Hold on, I'm thirsty. How fucked up is that kid gonna be? Oh yeah, that's exactly who we want rolling around society. Somebody who knew from day fucking one they were not wanted, they're not gonna be loved, and the only reason they fucking exist is because one guy forced them to have it, and another set of jackasses told them to have it, said they had to have it. They were forced to be pregnant, and another group of assholes said they were to stay pregnant and deliver the baby because that life deserves fucking a right to live. By the way, you stupid right-wing bigoted jackasses! First off, if you're male, shut the fuck up, because you don't have anything to do with pregnancy. Now, if you're a woman and you still want to buy into this bullshit, here's a thought. We have enough fucking people. We need to get a few less. That's like that jackass, curly-haired, skirt-wearing bitch, Michelle Duggar, saying that having too many children is like having too many fucking flowers. I have news for you. Yes, the entire population of the world could fit into fucking Montana. Hold on, I'll finish my point in 1 second. I'm thirsty again. But that's if we didn't need clothing, food, a decent-sized place to live. You know, the human fucking experience. Human beings take up a lot of land. Look, a factory was needed to make my shirt. Another factory was needed to make my jeans. Another factory was needed to make my beer. Another factory was needed to make these shelves. Some other factory to make the games that are on the shelves. Some other factory to manufacture those jewel cases up there. Another manufacturing to manufacture these fucking cases. And those fucking cases. A lot of shit. We take up a lot of fucking space. Now, let's go on to what happens if it's a child that's pregnant. Which, believe it or not, does happen. A girl can get fucking, have her period as early as 8 or 7 years old. And once she gets her period for the first time, she can get fucking pregnant. And if she's young enough, if she's like 12, 13, 14, guess what? she can fucking die in childbirth. Okay, so which is it? Actually, this also extends to a mother which pregnancy might kill her if she A, continues with it, or B, has the baby. So whose life are we gonna fucking protect? The unborn fetus or the mother's? I have news for you on which one is alive. The one with a fucking brain! So a child has to be snuffed out so another fucking child can be born. Look, if you don't have a brain, you're not fucking alive! You're a meatball! When you get your brain, you are now human. When your brain is dead, you go back to guess what? A bag of meat! So these jackasses, especially Todd Aiken included, have said that, you know what, forcible rape for pregnancy is very rare. Women have hormones to prevent that. Has no fucking proof of the hormones. But when have ever conservative Christians ever needed proof for their fucking statements? What about when the pregnancy poses a risk to the mother? Or what happens if the mother's fucking 14 or 13 or 12 or 11 or 10? And one little final point, and I guess I probably can't resist yelling, so here we go again. What if it's fucking goddamn date rape? The woman's sedated. She's knocked out. She can still get pregnant, and because it's not quote-unquote forcible, yeah, she's fucked. She has to have the baby. Really? Really? Look, we actually have too much life on this planet. We have too much human life. You know, the Ghost of Christmas Present said, woe unto whoever, the insect upon the leaf, crying there is too much life in the world. Well, guess what? We actually do have too much life. We're fine with getting rid. And if you don't have a brain, you're a fucking meatball. And another thing I don't get from conservative Christian cocksuckers is the fact that they all believe we've got this thing called a soul. And when we die, our soul will go up to the gates of fucking heaven, where we will be greeted and hugged and given beer and head massages and foot massages and cooked pizza rolls by this almighty being known as God! So, if a baby's aborted, he wouldn't have committed original sin because he wouldn't have been born. His soul would immediately go up to heaven, no questions asked. Or, might I just ask, when do you get your fucking soul? Well, if you feel free, send this video around. As far as I'm concerned, Todd Aiken, I'm glad you're not running in my state. You're a fucking douchebag. Drop out of the goddamn race. And no, I'm not Democrat either. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. The closest you can pigeonhole me with is libertarian. So, therefore, I have no problem with people getting abortions. See how that works? It's nice. Alright, as promised, my rant on Todd Aiken.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see if we can get the chat going here. All right. There's the chat, and we'll check back as we need to. Kill the audio though, so we don't get that goddamn reverb effect. All right. Welcome to the Dave Nordahl Show, and In this episode, we're going to be looking at, well, what we always look at, a few more videos. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the last 5 minutes of this video I did last night, and this is If You Smell's response to my response to a Tom Strayer video, so, okay, let's blow this up.
But didn't remove him.
Now, if you remember from yesterday, basically all he has done in this video is agree with me.
I paused a little early, sorry.
In the record books is actually impeached. You are aware of it. Impeachment doesn't actually mean what a lot of people think it means.
Again, I want to bring up a few points that I made earlier. One, get yourself an editing program and the YouTube downloader. Makes things a lot easier. Two, if you're going to record it from your phone, 90 degrees to the right or to the left, and get the fucker into landscape.
Again, he never said impeachment
Or get $100 together and buy yourself a proper camera.
was flat out removal. You're implying that yourself, and I don't know what.
No, that dipshit from the commercial implied it, that if we can impeach him, we can remove him. Impeachment doesn't necessarily mean removal.
From.
And it meant nothing. It meant absolutely nothing.
Oh, hold on, I'm speaking.
I've covered this already. Moving on.
Please, etiquette, shut down. Okay. He brought up nuclear war. He hasn't brought us to the brink of nuclear war. Korea threatens us all the time. It's just whereas presidents before have kind of laughed about it, Donald Trump doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. He can threaten to shut down news organizations all he likes. He can't actually make good on his threats. So again, and this is the other.
You were right about all of these things, but he's still
All you've done is agree with me. What are you, like an asshole in training, or are you too stupid to make a response video?
waiting to take health insurance, threatening to take health insurance from millions of people.
No, he's not. What he's threatening to do, and what should be done, is he wants to take away the mandate that I must buy insurance. That's what he's trying to repeal.
And I know what you think about the mandate of Obamacare, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's horseshit. Why should... You are aware that, people are terrified to start businesses because you have to buy your own health insurance. And your average premium in 2018 is going to be $800 a month. You know, about what your mom pays for the townhouse you live in.
Blah. It doesn't change the fact that a lot of people who wouldn't have health insurance today have health insurance because of it.
There was options before Obamacare. There was. And again, why should you pay the same rate as me? I'm healthy.
I myself have a pre-existing condition. If it wasn't for Obamacare, I would not be insured right now.
Okay, two things. This you might think is a little heartless.
I don't give a shit. Your problems are your problems. I don't care. I don't.
But why should I be forced to pay a premium that is 4 to 5 times higher? Right now, I've often thought about starting a food truck. I can't afford to leave the job because I need the health insurance, because I'm mandated by law to have health insurance. This is the part of Obamacare that needs to go. Why should I, as a healthy 35-year-old, be forced to carry something I don't use and don't need? It didn't lower the cost. It didn't make anything better. It's made things worse and more expensive. Now, yeah, you could argue that maybe it helped this guy and this guy. Okay, great. So one guy's premiums are lower versus the 12 guys whose premiums are higher to subsidize your shit. Look, your problems are your problems. We had systems in place that could have taken care of you before Obamacare.
So, are you just going to tell people with pre-existing conditions to go fuck themselves? Is that what you want to do?
I just told you that. I don't care. Sorry. Unless you want to say some way to make it right that I have to pay, again, like $800 a month. That is what people that don't have health, that are independent, that are independently employed or self-employed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, entrepreneurs. That is what they're paying under the Obamacare exchanges next fucking year. It didn't lower lower premium payments. It jacked them through the goddamn roof. You moron. How much are you paying? Oh, probably not a whole lot because you're probably getting the state-assisted coverage that you were getting before Obamacare. We had health insurance for the poor and needy before Obamacare, at least in my state and in a lot of states. We have this thing called Minnesota Care. For the poor and the destitute and the needy. Before Obama had to get in there and do the only thing he did in 8 years, and that was to fuck up the American healthcare system.
Instead of just pointing out Trump's stupidity, and just attributing, stupidity what this moron is doing here, and just right what's right.
Okay, so apparently he fucks it all up here. Nice fat fingering of the iPad.
Okay, the rest of this is just him talking in circles, but you get the idea.
Actually, no, I kind of destroyed this guy. Well, you can't see the video anymore, but I kind of just destroyed the guy.
Clinton was not removed from office because his impeachment was bullshit. Trump can sort of...
No. Clinton's impeachment didn't begin till after he was out of office anyway, okay? You are aware that the president has a term limit. You're aware of this. They decided to do it quickly and quietly to avoid embarrassment on the world stage. Clinton didn't commit that great of a crime, but it was still a crime.
With a foreign power to get himself elected.
Do you have any proof of that? We've seemed to have wasted millions of dollars with that question and came up with diddly shit.
He's going to take health care from millions of people who can't get it otherwise.
Have any proof of that? The only thing I've heard is that he wants to get rid of the fucking mandate. And you could have still gotten it before health. This is the thing that is driving me nuts. Do you people have fucking amnesia of before X?
And he's way more of a raving lunatic than all the people you mentioned in your video. And you yourself.
I mentioned Obama. I mentioned Clinton. I can't remember if I mentioned Bush or not. The difference is that Trump doesn't know when to shut his fucking mouth. Now, that's not that surprising because, A, he's from New York, and anyone who's from New York that watches this would probably agree with me. New Yorkers can get loudmouthed and blunt and just say shit. It probably comes living in a place where you're constantly surrounded with people and you'd like them to all fuck off. And he doesn't know when to leave Twitter. The first thing Trump should have done the second he won the election was delete the Twitter account.
Self put together. Trump is a problem, needs to be dealt with.
Do you care to give any evidence or any examples outside of the two that you keep, or the one you keep bringing up, that affects you personally? Well, it affects me in the opposite way. Again, I ask, why is it fair that I must pay a goddamn quintuple what I was paying? I mean, when I started, I've had 3 jobs in the last... No, 3. I've had 3 jobs in the last... 4 years, okay? And I lost the 2. There's the third one, the one that I'm currently at, and I lost the first 2 due to layoffs, okay? And at the second one, the first one, it was kind of provided by the union, and I have my own thoughts on unions, so if anybody wants to actually fight me on a union, I got far more experience than probably most of you dealing with the fuckers. And the second one, I decided to get my own health insurance. Now, when I first got my own health insurance, the payment was $50 a month. Or $75. Then, as the costs increased and Obamacare kept rolling on, when I finally went with my company's health, the former company's health insurance, and the company I'm currently with, I was just automatically enrolled, so I didn't have to think about it. By the time that I put my last premium payment in, it was $250, $300 from $50. So, let's say you have a dream of starting your own small business. You can't do it now because how the fuck are you supposed to afford $800 in insurance payments that you are required to have thanks to fucking dippy dimmy dimwit very wary Obama?
But we can't start the impeachment too soon. Mueller has been making good progress, but he doesn't
Really? No, he hasn't.
have that smoking gun yet, I fear.
That's why they're having to try to scramble to get this sexual harassment or sexual assault thing. Again, if these women were assaulted or raped or harassed by Trump, why the fuck didn't they bring it up during the primaries when they could have sunk him before he became president? Why didn't they bring it up during the campaign? Why the fuck do they wait when he's 18 months or 13 months into his goddamn presidency? Oh only now, after the Senate, the House of Representatives voted not to impeach Donald Trump and it failed fucking miserably. Only when this jackass that he keeps mentioning wanting to suck the dick of, his investigation turned up jack shit or nothing that it could prove, linking to Donald Trump. Now, brave women, brave leftist feminist women are finally coming forward when they could have done it beforehand and not had Donald Trump elected. And you would have gotten your fucking drier than the Sahara cunt president, Hillary Clinton.
I fear you don't have a smoking gun yet. So, just keep fighting for the healthcare and the tax stuff. Let Mueller get something really awesome, and then start the impeachment. But War Corp 666 is not helping this situation at all.
What am I doing to help or hinder it? What is me giving my opinion and commentary and making jokes about a video doing to either help it or hinder it? I don't have exactly Mueller on my little pad here to send him an email and go, hey, dipshit, back off of Trump. I like him. Hashtag fuck Obama.
This is the first of what will be many videos destroying War Corp 666.
Well, you failed with this one.
Again, I'm focused this time. I'm going to finish the job.
Oh, he's focused this time. Were you also focused when you were eating paint chips as a kid? Just not for nothing.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Don't steal my line. Okay. I am currently filming something for Dave's cooking show, so we are going to take a real quick break, and I will be back. Okie dokie. Alright, let's move along and see what else we got going on. Oh, what do I want to tackle first? You know what? I kind of went after a left-winger who says I'm a member of the alt-right. Well, I guess I'll make fun of Alex Jones.
By the way, if you're a radio listener, you haven't been fortunate enough or unfortunate enough to actually see what we're showing, but everywhere they're pushing sex bots, and they're a giant new industry, basically just fancy blow-up dolls that have like an Alexa bot program hooked into the central network of the people that produce these.
Okay. I haven't seen these things at Best Buy or Target or, well, anywhere.
And the tech companies just have basically a big rubber blow-up doll sex bot that's in your house that has like a fleshlight, I guess is what they call them, as a sex member. And they push it as trendy and brave and cool. They're now even creating on the LGBTQP3CL4. They were showing me the designations they show elementary kids in Canada, the U.S., and the U.K. Let's put that back on screen. You guys found some of those during the break.
That looks like a full-grown woman and a sex robot that doesn't exist. That looks like something out of a sci-fi, I guess, photograph, whatever the fuck. Photographic art.
They're ever expanding. They're now saying sex with machines or sex with cars or sex with appliances.
Really? Well, that would make my drive into work a hell of a lot more enjoyable if some robotic mouth would come out and give me a blowjob.
There's a whole big movement where people are marrying their cars, marrying their toasters, marrying their dogs, their cats, their horses.
I have not heard of anyone marrying their dog, their cat, their horse, their toaster. I did hear about one weird-looking bitch in the UK who was trying to marry a chandelier, and I made fun of her. But, Alex, you should know better than most. Crazy people will do crazy things.
I'm not kidding. And they're catching people in public places. You see it all the time, like trying to have sex with a Ferrari.
I don't know if you date a robot. This is just basically people that have given up on dating for one reason or another, either because they're pathetic weebo cucks that are too big of pussies to go up and talk to a girl, or they're hairy, disgusting feminists that can't be bothered with a guy and aren't lesbians and are bored with bobs. But I don't know if you actually date a robot because of, the whole free will thing.
Or trying to have sex with a 57 Chevy. And they actually, I'm not going to get into
Adam Carolla might try to have sex with a 57 Chevy, but I don't know anyone else that would.
The details of what they do, but they lube up the tailpipe and everything, and then police come up, and there's a guy hunching your car. So this is the total mental illness.
I don't think I'm ever going to meet a person that will lube their dick up and stick it in my tailpipe. But now that you said that, Alex, I kind of want to have that person as a best friend.
A breakdown of society.
Hey, that did at least, I don't know, might warm up the car in the morning.
If you don't let somebody have sex with your car, you're a homophobe, you're a bigot, you're a horrible person.
Wouldn't that be a car phobe? But, well, I guess if somebody wants to have sex with my car, go for it. My car is an inanimate object, therefore consent doesn't really need to be given. I guess just pull out before you climax, please. And if it must be turned on, then I guess pay for the gas when you're done.
This is not satire.
But please just take a shower first.
I'm not kidding here. Okay, this is what they're teaching kids now. And
I don't think there's any elementary school that is going, today kids, we're going to learn about sex. Sex is usually between a man and a woman, but sometimes it can be between a guy and a woman and a woman. Also, if you feel so inclined and you really, really love your car, when you get out from your high school class, feel free to fuck the shit out of it.
And so you can dump Drano in your eyes, identify as a blind person, and the government of the U.S. or UK or Canada will pay for you to be taken care of for the rest of your life because you were mentally ill.
Okay, you might have a point there.
Wanted to hurt yourself and pour Drano in your eyes, a drain cleaner.
Actually, in this particular case, I know the case Alex is talking about, and he's half right and half wrong. The woman was insane and felt that she should have been born blind. She went to a therapist about it, and he agreed she should have been born blind. So he blinded her with, I think it was Drano. So yeah, she went to a medical professional that should have told her, you're insane, let me help you with some therapy.
So this is the whole plan. And of course, I think I'm going to buy.
Whose plan is this? The Illuminati, lizard people, Satan? Whose plan? NWO?
Buy some of these sex dolls and basically torch them just to show folks that their AI god is nothing but a fraud. Now, I think there's going to be a major outcry that I'm a bigot and evil person for doing it. But we've got to start.
No, you'll just be regarded as the same crazy person that you always are. Weirdo. All right, let's move on. Who do we got? Who do I want to go after? Oh, I think we'll go after... Oh, fuck it. We'll go after the Young Turks. Again, before I start this video, I start this off asking the same question I always ask with Young Turks that feature Anna Kasparian. Why in the hell does Jank let her wear clothes?
Corinthian colleges, which was one of the big...
And why is she allowed to talk? Just sit there naked with a ball gag. It'll be beautiful.
Corporations that had operated a number of for-profit colleges essentially...
Okay, let's be clear here, Anna. Every fucking college is a for-profit enterprise. They're all private. Every one of them is for profit. If they weren't, they would operate like public schools, aka they're free, sort of.
Dissolved because of the fact that it was defrauding so many students, and the federal government went after them. Now that Corinthian colleges doesn't exist, any type of so-called degree or diploma that students were pursuing were null and void. And so there was an agreement by the federal government under the Obama administration to provide debt relief to these students because they essentially ended up taking out loans after being defrauded, and they didn't get a good education or even any type of degree as a result of that.
Well, do you know who you can thank for that type of ruling? It's not everyone, but you can kind of thank Clinton for really expanding that.
Now,
he didn't start it, but he damn sure expanded it.
In comes Betsy DeVos, and things are a little different. Even though the federal government under Obama agreed to a debt relief program, Betsy DeVos...
Again, I hate to say this, but maybe just take it as a learning experience. To not check out the college before you sign up for it. You know, again, like Liberty University, I wouldn't exactly put my money in them.
Is essentially ignoring that program.
Okay, and what about a group of students that get degrees from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide? I'm just using them as an example. And they get a degree, but it's in women's studies. And they can't find a job because the private sector doesn't give a sautéed rat's cunt about gender study. It's a useless degree. Should they be able to sue and get their debt knocked off? This is the thing. This is the problem that started. You could argue in the late 80s under Bush Sr. It got really picked up by Clinton, and that is every kid had to go to college. And they made it so every kid could go to college through student loans. The problem is, though, because colleges are private enterprises, and because all of them are driven by the profit motive, you have a system where where they knew they'd get the money no matter what they did, what they produced. So, you know, they jacked up their, I think it was in the 80s, maybe it was the late 70s, the 80s, the cost of sending a kid to an Ivy League school for 4 fucking years was like $7,000. $7,000. Your parents could afford it. Or if you did get a loan, it wouldn't cripple you for life. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Now it's what, $70,000? Most of a home. And your degree in fucking ancient Arabic languages is going to net you nothing because you took a bunch of easy-ass classes that meant nothing in the real world instead of studying something useful like engineering or architecture. Just not for nothing. Just saying.
So
you're stuck with this debt that you're never going to be able to pay back because the only thing you got from college was how to be a professional Starbucks bistro.
let's give you some
Or barista. I take that back.
info on that. The U.S. Education Department has stopped canceling the student loan debt of people defrauded by failed for-profit schools, and those borrowers face mounting interest and other burdens. So let's focus on the second portion of that because that's honestly one of the more relevant parts. So these people applied to get their loans forgiven, their debt forgiven. And as they're waiting to hear back from the Department of Education, interest is piling on to that outstanding loan.
Yeah, again, you're not being quite honest here, Anna. It's not credit card interest, okay? It's not 23% or 20% or whatever the fuck people are paying, 15, even 10. Most student loans clock in, at least decent student loans, clock in at 2, 1.5, maybe 3. So you're not being terribly honest, Anna.
And they went to Corinthian colleges. They were told by the government that they're going to get those loans forgiven. And then all of a sudden, they're getting denied, or they're not even hearing back from the Department of Education.
Oh, geez. And how many years did they have to get this shit done and make sure everything's done and pressure the Department of Education and all the... Oh, yeah, probably several. And they did nothing. Just like those fucking dreamers. 2 goddamn years to get your shit in order and become a citizen, and you did nothing. And now that it is expiring in about, 17, 18 days? Which, by the way, it was set to expire anyway. The thing that Obama signed was not a dreamer eternus. Okay? It was a Band-Aid. It was a 2-year thing set to expire when Obama knew he'd be goddamn out of office. Okay? They had 2 years to get it done, and they did nothing. $20 says these kids had 2, 3, or 4 years to get their loan shit together. They didn't bother because, stress and safe spaces and microaggressions and trying to figure out how they're going to change this worthless degree into a couple of more pennies. Yeah. Again, work ethic.
So now they're stuck owing more than they originally would have, and it's because Betsy DeVos loves the for-profit colleges, does not want to relieve this debt. According to this...
Well, again, it's kind of shitty that you went to Corinthian College and you got fucked over, so your debt is forgiven, versus a kid who goes to the University of Minnesota, gets a degree in, gets a degree in art theory, and that's worthless. But his debt is not forgiven because even though the University of Minnesota is a for-profit enterprise, it's not technically a for-profit college.
Report by the Inspector General, DeVos also brought the existing cancellation process to a crawl. So to give you specific numbers...
Again, how many years do they have before this? You said this was under Obama. So they probably had a year to get it done. You're just bringing it up now, so meaning they probably had a year under Trump to get it done. So bare minimum, they had a fucking year to get it done. And they did nothing. Trump didn't get into office, and the first thing Betsy DeVos did was cancel this shit. Okay? They had a while.
Since Trump's inauguration on January 20th, the department has received 25,991 claims for discharging loans. It has denied 2 requests and approved none. That's it. That's all they've done with all of those claims. Just completely ignoring them or denying 2 of them. That's it.
So
that sounds like the government and YouTube. Ignore it or deny it.
Give you some context about the last half a year of Obama's administration. They got 46,274 claims, so more than under Trump. They didn't, unlike Trump, they denied none of them. Okay, now they couldn't approve all of them because it goes through a process, and they could only do so much in that last half a year.
Again, I reiterate, why is it okay for a kid who's 60 grand in debt because he got an art degree, he can't get it discharged even through bankruptcy, but there's this this Corinthian fucking bullshit, he can. That's fine. Okay, you know what? My voice is actually going. I recorded a podcast earlier today. So I am actually going to have to bow out here. A little shorter of a show today, but I already did like an 80-minute podcast today too. You can check that out on podbean.com, the Dave Nordahl Show. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bow out. My voice is starting to give out. And my throat's kind of raspy. So I will see everyone next week.